Hi, Art.
These are a couple eyeglass cleaners.
Cool.
People at work say those are great.
There's Art. There he is.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
A little warm in here for some reason or another, but other than that, I'm fine. You keeping healthy?
Trying. Your volume is not very loud. I don't know if that's you or...
Let me go to my settings and see.
I can hear you. You're just not real loud.
Well, let's see. Does that improve things?
Little maybe.
Oh, wait a minute. I turned up my speaker, not my, not my microphone. Let me try this. Okay.
There you go. That's getting there.
Can you hear that?
Yep. There you are. That's
okay.
You hit the right button and then stuff works.
So how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Lot of not really doing much of anything. I'm working on the Hero robot again.
Uh-huh.
Got him all wired up and ready to get.
This is one of Rabbit Robot things, or is this a different one? I haven't been following, so.
I bought this. It's a 1984 Hero Junior.
Oh, okay.
I bought it at a flea market for $20 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
not bleeding edge technology, as it were.
It was 20 years old when I bought it. So
okay.
It had set in a barn and small critters had moved in and lived inside of it.
Okay.
So as you might imagine, it was a filthy, dirty gem of a find at a flea market for 20
But you got a good price, I assume.
Well, I didn't even argue. The guy who said, make me an offer on it. I said, $20 sounds really good to me. So,
and he went for it.
They, well, he told me $20, and I said, that sounds like a fair price. They go for 500 plus.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I got a decent deal. Of course, the batteries on it were dead, so had to replace that.
What kind of batteries were they?
They were old NiCads. No, they were gel cells. They were gel cells.
Oh, lead acid gel cells.
Yeah. So got it. I finally got it to power up the first time. It got through the self-test that it did one time, and then it failed constantly. It was constantly failing. Okay.
Okay, there's Jim.
And I moved. It sat at my house for a while, and then 2015, we did a presentation there at the library, and I had 7 Arduinos running the stupid thing to make it do stuff. I have come down to 1 Arduino and 1 Raspberry Pi, and I have completely rewired how it works. It's barely recognizable as what it once was. You know, it's still It's still a 1984 chassis and body, but everything else in it's pretty modern.
Okay, cool.
There's Jim. Barry's
Jim.
Barry's lurking too, but Barry doesn't have his mic on or anything.
Oh, okay.
What? Do you want to listen to me too?
No, we don't need to listen to you.
He's laying low.
We just acknowledge the fact that you're here.
I see, sir.
Are you back visiting with
How are
us?
you
Art?
gentlemen doing?
Pardon?
Are you back visiting with us, or are you in Cali?
I'm in my office in Fremont, California right now.
He's afraid to come to Ohio.
No, actually, we are quite concerned about traveling. There's no way we're going to drive across the country. We would probably assassinate each other if we had to spend that long time in a car. And going in an aircraft where they're recirculating the all the microbes, 10 times an hour, didn't sound appealing. I've been across the country in a train, and I've been across often enough that I wasn't excited about that. So we just decided we're going to stay at home in Northern California. So my daughter and son-in-law are looking after the house, and I actually have been out of the house here in California 4 times since the 13th of March, which is the last day I was on campus. We've essentially been kicked off of campus. We've been told we're not welcome there. They don't want us there. They don't want any students there, and so forth and so on. Turns out it's kind of handy because they've got a bunch of construction going on. So, we'll get through this. It's just a matter of being patient. So how's everybody? Jim, I see you kind of in the dark there. Is that intentional? Is that your studio lighting or what?
They keep me in the dark. They try to. I get mushrooms in here. Would you like some?
All you need is a little horse shit, and you've got a whole mushroom farm.
There's Gail up there.
I'm sorry?
We can't see Gail. Your camera's not angled there.
Oh, she's out. You can see her feet. See those white things?
I do see her feet. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Thank God she's got her socks on.
Okay.
Something's waving.
Yeah.
Hey there, how you doing?
Good.
We'll say hi to Gail anyway, even if we can't see her.
I guess I should mute so that
But if you mute, you forget to push the button. So, yeah, both ways you lose.
Is Barry there?
Kenny's here. We hear you. We can see you, unfortunately. What's going on, Kenny?
Just nothing but hot. Chased that golf ball today.
Yeah, did you catch it?
I found a couple extra balls out there when I was looking for mine. And they did me a favor. They cut down some of the rough so I can pick them and find them.
Oh, that's good.
Hmm.
So what's the temperature out there, Art? You muted us. See, you're muted.
I looked about a half an hour ago and it was 86 out, but from here it'll be going lower. It'll be going south. You guys had pretty, from what I see at the house, my house there in Milford, you guys had a pretty hot day too.
Yeah, 89 right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's up almost 90.
You also have humidity, which we don't have here, so.
True.
All right.
Got the fan blowing. I got the ceiling fans going. I got the air on, and I'm still hot. It's still hot in here.
Well, the problem I have in my office is I've got so much equipment going in here that I would never have to heat this room in the wintertime.
That's how my old computer room was. We just didn't even heat it. Had, I don't know, 8 or 9 computers running the whole time. It was nice and toasty in there.
Hi, everyone.
Hi
There's
there.
my Sante. He's here.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
He's
Hi,
got his USB
how are you?
microphone. Thank you for the USB microphone, Vicente. You sound great. Yeah. Now we got to do something about that video camera.
What brand of microphone is that?
Don't know.
Seems to work pretty well.
I can see. It's from Amazon, I think.
Oh, it's very blurry. It's too blurry. Back up.
Yeah, you have to pull it away from the camera a little bit.
There, how's?
It's too blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
back up.
Mine was a couple of bucks.
Yeah, I need to get a better one since I'm teaching online all the time now.
Yeah, Vicente's microphone and his camera was echoey. It didn't have foam or anything around it, I guess, but that new microphone sounds good. Get him a new camera will be great. He's missing that. So.
Checking my Amazon orders to check microphone.
So Art, how's the teaching online going? Is that pretty good?
Oh, I love it. No
Okay.
commute, no commute. I have to say that a lot of my colleagues are a little challenged, but you know, I've been doing online stuff for long enough that I'm pretty much, except for doing Zoom sessions, I was all set to go. The course management software I've been running for the last 5 years, and I use that for all assignments and tests and grading. So reduces the amount of paper I have to lug around. And at this point, my commute has gone from roughly 15.5 miles one way to, I guess it's probably 12 feet from my bedroom to my office.
Well, how far is it from the kitchen to your office? This is
Unfortunately, not far enough. I have to say that the exercise plan is going out the window.
it might be.
Yeah, I need to get out and work off some pounds. This has been a constant fight.
I know the feeling.
Okay, let's see if I can get the.
I sent a link for the microphone.
Where did you send it?
It's in the chat. If you
In the chat, there's a
Okay,
chat icon.
okay. How do I get back to the chat? Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Will this be recorded and posted?
it is. Yeah. I've posted all of them but one so far. And the one that I missed was because I was out without power. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We had a blackout, I don't know, about a month ago. It was on a real hot day, late in the afternoon. People were running all the air conditioners, and the transformer just went kaboom. And that was it.
I'm not sure why ours went out, but it was a real hot day, so I suspect we had a brownout.
This wasn't a brownout, this was a blackout.
It was done.
There wasn't a microamp coming out of those sockets.
Okay. This week, what I've been doing, Art, is tracking the deaths. Takes a lot of the foolishness out of the numbers. It's just raw information, except it looks like they're still poking some raw numbers in there that are foolish occasionally. But
what is this, nationwide, worldwide, what?
this is United States, and it's listed by states, and it's a sum of all deaths in the United States. This up here is the source website that I use. It's just a spreadsheet that shows each state's deaths. And then I created my own, and I'll show you one of those in a minute. And this is the result of the data, the trend chart. The red dotted thing here is the red dots, the red with the dots is the 20-day moving average for deaths.
Mm-hmm.
The blue is the daily deaths. Okay. The red is a probably least squares fit, and the blue least squares fit, you know, just to generate a line out of it. So we pretty much flattened out. Looks like we got some upward trend or flattening out. But the numbers, depending on who's advertising what, you get bogus numbers on any given day. But all in all, the numbers ought to be good. This will tell us in general how we're doing. And if you go to the VIX site, our communication site, you can get to from the meeting announcement.
Yep.
This tells you that this is a good after the fact indication of where you are. You know, it's going to be a couple of weeks late because of the propagation time of the virus, that sort of stuff. And
So this shows mortality, but not morbidity.
yes.
Okay.
And it filters out most of the foolishness. Although, like a New Jersey guy a couple of days ago went crazy on us. 1,300 deaths in one day. Nah, I don't think so. So let's see. We have the book of the month thing is still, that's a reasonable book, Art, if you're up to reading. It's Magnolia Store. It's about Chip and Joanna Gaines of the Fixer Upper series. I don't know if you're into that. I got to get a new book for this month. That's left over from last month.
So this is your old career? Not me. Oh, it was Leroy.
No.
It was Leroy.
I was doing paper machines with computers and stuff like that. Paper machines, steel mills, rolling mills, that sort of stuff. Okay. In the news this week, France is concerned about their future, and they're talking about a new nuclear plant. It looks like their long-term planning is saying, since they got CO2 limitations, they're not going to be able to burn coal or natural gas, and wind and solar is not getting there for whatever reason. So they're talking about building new nuclear plants. AT&T is expanding its 5G coverage. There's something interesting in there. I think it was DIF they called it. They're going to run 5G format on 4G frequencies, and they're going to share the frequency, and supposedly that's going to help everyone. And you can quote me on that. That's what they said, and with a straight face. Zoom confirms it missed their major security milestones. Looks like they're working on it. They're talking about lithium iron phosphate batteries may take over because they have much longer life than the cars typically. So they're looking at batteries that may last longer than the cars, and you may have a use for them. And we mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. People might use them in their homes for backups and that sort of thing, for their solar panels and all sorts of stuff. So the iron.
Jim, if I may.
Yeah.
Is this science or science fiction?
This is science. This is they're working on these puppies. Tesla's looking at them.
I understand they're working on them, but the question is, do they have commercial devices available?
No, not yet. Tesla was looking at them. Right now they had to extend their purchase agreement for something that starts with a B. So they did. So they're not believing it yet, but it looks like it may come into fruition. It's not way out, but it's not immediate either. It's not going to happen this year, maybe in a couple of years. It looks like there are quite a few people interested, but we'll see, you know, how that goes. And these guys, you know, everybody lies to the public.
I think everybody lies, period.
Well, yeah, if you've been awake, you've seen it. Talking about the COVID-19 stuff, here's an interesting article. FAR UVC efficiency activates airborne seasonal coronaviruses. FAR UVC is UV, and they're calling it C. I forgot what the C stands for, but it's a little higher frequency than UV is normally, that UV lights normally operated. The germicidal UVCs operate about 220. They're saying with FAR UVC, which is about 250, I think it is, it does affect the COVID-19 virus.
Well,
and
there's one problem with that.
Yeah, it's surface only.
The problem with 250 is it only goes about 3 feet in air.
Yeah.
If you get up around 300, I worked in the UV laser business for about 8 years. And the problem was that the shorter the wavelength becomes, the more attenuation you get in air, and particularly humid air. So, of course, the other problem you have as you get to the shorter wavelengths is that the carcinoma goes up like a rocket. So, at any rate.
Yeah, here's the answer.
So what do? Put it in the box or something, or?
HVAC, the ductwork.
In the duct.
Yep.
Oh, so this is
Air duct.
This is air cleaning. You're not talking about exposing human beings to this.
No, yeah.
No. In fact, it warns you that you can't do that. You can't expose human beings. If you do, you have to say you can do it when no one's there. Turn it on when no one's in the room. This one is put it in the ductwork. This one's 253.7 nanometers. 254 is the
Yeah.
number that the article quoted. It's supposed to be good on airborne activities, mildew, mold, and it does away with that problem about distance because it's in the ductwork. It's going to be right there.
Well, in that case, you're moving the air to the UV as opposed to trying to move the UV to the air. So you reverse the problem and it solves the issue I was raising.
And we have mold issues over here. I do. So I've ordered one of these. This is the one I've ordered. So not too bad.
No, that's very, very reasonable. So what do? Just cut a hole in the side of the duct and stick this thing through?
Yeah, you took, I think it's 2 1 5/8 inch holes and you just screw it into the ductwork and away you go. These are fluorescent type tubes. They last about a year, year and a half, and you have to replace them. So yeah, and I kind of shot out there, people, you might want to investigate this because you're more knowledgeable in this area than I am. But that's just.
So did you put the link on the in the chat room there? Or the links in here?
The link, I'll put a link in here in the, I'll put it in the chat room. That's a good idea. Hey, Leroy knows I'm devious, so I put it in the chat room, so you have to go to the chat room. TikTok, they're saying TikTok is removed from Google Play and the iOS App Store, and says it's company says it's talking to the government.
What does that mean?
A researcher actually dug into it, I guess, recently and found that it was sending all your data information off your phone. So like if you did a cut and paste operation, it would paste the data to China. So like people that use that to paste in their passwords for accounts and whatnot.
There was a stink about this, and with the military guys, they make sure all the military guys did not use it. This was 6 months, a year ago. What you got?
Still in the App Store.
Oh, okay.
TikTok, still there.
They mentioned they were using it for the rioters to coordinate activities and that sort of stuff. I don't know. I have never used it.
Wouldn't surprise me. They use all kinds of apps. There's usually about 20 or 30 different things like that that spring up for coordinating with in case something gets shut off.
Well, it appeared on my cell phone a while back, and I didn't know what the heck it was. I just ignored it. Somebody wants to listen to my phone conversations, have at it. As far as I'm concerned, that'll really confuse them.
Yeah, listen to mine. Then that's a personal problem. They'd have to tolerate it. They put me in the dark. Nobody listens to me anyway. Keep me in the dark. Grow mushrooms. Leroy, what you doing?
Okay, so I got a couple of things going on. I bought a new phone, and it will shock and amaze everyone what I bought.
Oh no!
What did you
This is
buy,
bad.
Leroy?
This is bad, guys. Watch out! Ah!
That would be the part that should shock and amaze everyone.
Does that really have a third digit in the front?
Yeah, there's like extra numbers there. But not only that, but I bought Patty a new phone too, and paid almost that much for hers.
Boy, you must be feeling flush.
We needed new phones, and I decided not to cheap out too much this time. And it's a heck of a phone, but I don't know if I like the price. Uh,
Do you use the stylus?
the stylus is actually hard to get out, and it's even harder to get out since I put it in a case. So the stylus probably won't get used much. But onto the really cool thing. So
Yeah.
this is the Hero Junior update for 2020. I replaced all the LEDs except the green one. The green one is still original. All the red LEDs that were here either were very, very bright or very, very dim, and they just weren't working right. So I replaced them with basically they're NeoPixels, RGBs, and we can do multiple colors and multiple effects.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, nice.
So for I think it was $7 or $8 for those, and a little bit of time to wire them up. I brought this thing into the future. The future. I've got everything wired in the head except for the last keystone, and I've got everything wired in the body. So now it's just a matter of wiring that last keystone and making sure that the software does what I think it's going to do.
You were saying earlier that you had to replace the batteries. What is the voltage of the batteries?
Okay, the original battery that was in it was 12 volts. But myself and Vicente have been working on another project, another robot project, and we scavenged out these 36-volt LiPos. So they're basically free batteries to me. So I went 36 volt. You probably can't see it real well. There's a 36 volt to 12 volt DC regulator back here, and then 12 volt to 5 volt USB to power the Raspberry Pi and the Arduino. So basically I've got 3 of these 36 volt batteries. So I've got plenty of battery power. They're 4 amp hours at 144 watt hours. I'm not sure what a watt hour is. They should last a good long time inside of here because I've got 2 motors that run 12 volts and pretty much everything else is a 5 volt, runs off of the 5 volts. So they should run for a good long time.
So how'd you get them for free?
We're working on this other robot project that uses the hub wheels off of the hub boards. And he only wanted to run, what is that, 12 volt, 24 volt. So we ended up with a bunch of these 36 volt batteries that aren't being used for anything. So I figured if we've got them, I might as well use them.
Certainly cheap enough.
Well, and I wanted to change this over to LiPos anyway, so it's a win-win for me. So
Looks cool. I like those new lights.
yeah, I've got one more I could do that shows the LED. That's the animation for the mouth. So when it's talking, it should do that.
Tell them what you're telling your new design, what you're using for CPUs.
Let me unshare. Did I unshare? Did you guys see the mouth? No, because I didn't actually share the desktop, did I?
There we go.
Oh yeah, looks good.
Yep. Do those have built-in bias resistors, or did you have to change the bias resistors?
The NeoPixels are ready to go. All you have to do is wire them up the right way, and you don't need any external hardware or anything. Sometime if you have a whole lot of them, you might need a couple of capacitors in them just for the power.
Mm-hmm.
But with only 8 of them there, you don't need anything extra. It just needs to be wired. The input to the output, or the output to the input to the output to the input. So it's
So
a
you're
whole long
running
string.
them off 5 volts?
5 volts, yeah. There's a
So you
little
do have
teeny tiny microcontroller inside of each one of those things. And
Oh, okay. So that's not directly to the LED. That's to the microcontroller, and then they take care of the voltage reduction
Yep.
to the LED.
yep, these LEDs, they all have a little teeny tiny microcontroller in them, and they all communicate with each other and decide who's in the first line and who's next, and so on. So you can address them individually. And I think the longest string that I've ever seen of them is 2,000, but the guy injected power every couple of hundred or so to keep the string going. So really can't see it. There's a Raspberry Pi 3B with the Google AIY kit, which I've been prototyping with this thing, and I'm going to move everything from here over into it. I'm running a MQTT broker on this. The Arduino Mega, it's a Mega Mini. It's up here in the head inside of this red case here. It handles basically all the analog and motor control, and it reads the keypad. It controls the LEDs. And it's going to communicate over serial to the Raspberry Pi, and it will go into the MQTT broker, and the Raspberry Pi basically will sit there and listen to the broker and decide what to do or what not to do or whatever. So the Raspberry Pi is actually going to be in control. The Arduino is just going to be sitting there being stupid and waiting for somebody to hit a button, or waiting for the Raspberry Pi to say, turn this LED on, or whatever.
I gotta leave, so we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Take care, Ken.
Bye.
But that's the basic plans, and I've got bench testing all that, and it all seems to work. So all I need to do is move it from my bench tests into the actual thing, but I need to finish up wiring this thing up first. I'm using wire wrap. I had a setback this week. The original Arduino Mega Mini that I had in there, I had soldered all the wires to it, and then when I went to try to stick it back in there, wires started to break off and just became brittle. So I pulled that out and got a different microcontroller and wire wrapped everything. That was fun.
I am amazed that you still have wire wrap equipment.
I actually got it for the other robot project, but it's that's it. There's my wire wrap stuff. It's all manual.
I haven't done any wire wrap since 1995 or before.
I did it for this other robot project that we were working on, and I'm like, why did we stop doing this? This stuff is great. Okay, phone, calm down. Anyway, I bought a wire wrap tool to do Cat 5. That works, but the pins on the Arduino Mega, well, on all the Arduinos are too close, so it's too thick. It starts
It
to
won't get between the pins?
The pin spacing's too close together.
Yeah.
I can get it to work, but so ultimately I'm going to take the Cat 5 cable that I've got running and solder the wire wrap to it and wire wrap the lines. Yeah, I know.
That qualifies as a real kludge.
It works. I've already did it. Now I've only got 8 wires to do, so leave me alone.
Okay.
So it's just the last 8 wires seem to be the ones that I don't really want to do. I'll get some pictures of all this together and I'll share them up on the website, and then everybody can see the mess that I've got myself into. That's it. That's what I've got.
Okay.
We're under 2 minutes now.
Yeah, Art, the next thing we'll go to the second address and the meeting announcement. The second.
What? I didn't get that.
There'll be
What time?
a second connection for Zoom.
Time?
The announcement
What time?
at 6:15 our time.
15.
Oh, this is because of the 40-minute limit for the free Zoom?
Yes, exactly.
So just look at your meeting announcement. You'll see another Zoom address, and that'll be mine. This is Leroy's, and away we go.
So we leave this session?
Yep. It'll end automatically here in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
5 minutes to fill up the.
Yeah.
We copy this.
Yeah, in a
Leroy
couple
doesn't
more
whack you
minutes,
first.
Jim will be set up and ready to go with his session. So all you have to do is click on the link in the meeting announcement.
So this is the second link in the meeting announcement?
Yeah, it should say meeting number 2 or Jim's book club or something like that.
Yeah, just click on the link. It says 6:15.
Join the book club.